Welcome back, everyone, to Party Talk, where we empower leaders in youth drug prevention. Today, I'm chatting with a couple students that Tomas and I were actually with last week for their pre-prom event, and we did some drug prevention work. We did student interviews and recording for social media content. We did presentation messaging for school assemblies in the middle school and the high school. And what was really cool is we're actually chatting with Mary, Beth, and Ella. And these two are awesome student leaders on campus. We really enjoyed spending time with them. And I wanted to ask them today to share a little bit more about their prom and the event that they hosted, because I haven't heard of other schools doing it like this. And honestly, I wanted to stay. I did not want to fly home back to Phoenix. I wanted to stay in Kentucky. So I guess just to start, Mary Beth and Ella, will you just give us a little intro about you, do your grade, where you're from, and then maybe a few things that you like to do for fun?
Well, I'm Mary Beth, and I'm a senior at Lyon County High School. I'm planning on attending the university, or Murray State University, and I don't really know what I'm going to major in yet, but I like to play soccer and guitar and just all that kind of stuff.
And I'm Ella. I'm also a senior at Lyon County High School, and I'm actually attending our community college in Paducah for nursing school. So I'm going to try to get into the nursing program next spring. And I play basketball, and I just try to do a lot with my church.
Can you take us through kind of what prom looked like at your school and what was different about it than maybe what other students experience who just have a dance?
Sure. Well, our prom, I feel like the prom itself isn't much different than a lot of other schools. Mm-hmm. But for as long as I've known, our school's always done a project prom, kind of like a lot of schools do project graduation. But it's just a way for our school to like keep kids out of trouble, or try to keep them like out of parties and things like that. So they keep us in lockdown from 12 to 5 in the morning. And, you know, that's opportunities for students to win money. And there's just a lot of prizes, and they feed you, and, you know, it's very entertaining.
Visualize when you walk into the school, kind of take us to what the building looks like, how it's different, what's available, all that stuff.
Well, when we walk in, they usually like check us to make sure like nobody's been using any drugs or alcohol. And this year they did a metal detector just to make sure that everyone was coming in without anything dangerous. But it kind of looked like a normal school day, honestly. You just walk in, and they've taken all of the prom decorations down from our Grand March, and they've set up, they had volleyball and gaga ball and cornhole. So they just set up a bunch of activities for us, and you walk in, and they have food down one hallway and activities down another, like tie-dyeing and a movie room and things like that. So.
Okay. That doesn't sound like a normal school day to me. That sounds like an amazing school day. So what did you choose to do all night out of all the stuff?
So there's a bunch of sports that we can play, like competitively, like different teams will sign up for all these different sports. And like me and my friends, we played every sport, I'm pretty sure. So we played volleyball against, I think, 4 teams in all of the sports. But we won volleyball, kickball, and we ended up losing dodgeball. But yeah, so it kept us really entertained. Each sporting event lasted about an hour. So there was 3 hours that we were just doing straight sports the whole time.
That's great.
Yeah, and my team and some of my other friends actually played against Mary Beth's team the second round in volleyball for the championship. And we ended up getting second place, but it was still a lot of fun. And my team lost the first round in kickball, but there's still a lot, like, very entertaining to watch other teams play, because we just get so competitive.
Oh, yeah.
And there's money involved, so it obviously makes you want to, like, do really well. But we ended up beating them in dodgeball, so we got it back.
Yeah, I can tell you two are not competitive at all. That's so fun. And I love the fact that y'all did tournaments, because when people ask me about my parties and, you know, how do you make a fun event and a party? And that's one of the first things I tell them is you've got to make it competitive, because, then you're loud and you're having fun and you're talking trash to your friends. So it just sets you up to have an amazing night. And I also heard that they had fundraised to get some prizes and different things that they gave out at the end of the event. What were some of the things that were given away?
So they gave away a bunch of gift cards, like all of the juniors and seniors, like our name for putting this like basket or something. And then throughout the night, they would pick people's names and you would get to choose like a gift card to either a restaurant or, like I know there was a hair salon and a massage, and just a bunch of people or businesses from the community donated like their, like gift cards to their, stores and stuff. So everybody got at least one gift card. And then at the very end of the night, it's like the last 30 minutes or so, they call us all down to the gym floor. And so they call out our names and we pick a number, and each number has like money behind it. So regardless if you played no games or like anything at all, you're going to leave with at least $50. Each number has either like $50, $100, and then there were two numbers that had $150 and then one that had $500. So everybody left with at least something.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. That would get me going.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it sounds like when I listened to your event, so just to kind of recap, there was, you walk into the school and it seems like every, hallway, the gym had sports, classrooms had different games. So wherever you went, you could do something. And even if you didn't like sports, there was a movie room or maybe a game room where people could play video games or board games or cards. And so it wasn't like the event itself, like you had to bring in giant inflatables or anything crazy, but it was just getting people an excuse to get together, to hang out and play games all night. You get to take over the school, and it probably feels like it's just really special because you get the school at a different time and everything is set up for you to have fun with your friends, right?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Do you have any fun memories or funny memories that happened this year?
Probably just like like with me, it was definitely the competitiveness in kickball. Probably that was probably the most.
Yeah.
Because it was very close at first, and then it kind of just like they won by landslide. So it was just definitely something like that. In which I was on a team full of like baseball players, and which they had a lot of soccer players on their team. So it was kind of like they're kind of used to it, whereas my team was usually like hitting something, but just like me playing basketball and stuff, I'm just very competitive anyway, and so I just tried to like if there were a group of girls on my team that were trying to like run and catch the ball, I'd like dive in front of them and be like, that's okay, I've got it, because it's just very competitive. But that was probably my most exciting memory from it.
Awesome. Do you have any, Mary Beth?
Okay, so at the very end, I think it was kickball. It was my team against my sister's team, and there was a ball where they thought that I had kicked a foul ball, or like one of our referees, so they told me to stop, but the other one was telling me to keep going, so I stopped because the one told me to stop. And so it ended up causing this really big argument between the two teams. And so one of our guys was just like, okay, she's out, we'll take it out. And, I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, you're really just going to call me out for that? And in that inning, 3 people hit home runs and we beat their team by like 5 points. And my sister was so mad, but I thought it was hilarious that we had just beat them.
Yeah, it was like home run after home run.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wow. Don't make Mary Beth mad.
Pretty much.
That's so funny. And to give us an idea of how many people participated, like how many people do you think went to prom, the dance, and then how many went to the lock-in, project prom, if you had to guess?
Honestly, I think more people went to the lock-in, which at prom, there's not a lot, like, you just get different kinds of people that go, and not a lot of them would like to get up and dance and stuff and just have a good time. So sometimes they just sit there, but there are definitely a lot more people at Project Prom, and I think there are like close to 90 numbers almost for people to pick at the end of the night. And that was only for juniors and seniors. So there's like, my day was a sophomores, and I mean, the sophomores aren't allowed to participate in that specific event at the very end of the night, but they are also allowed to win money throughout the night, just not at the very end. But there were at least 80 something or juniors and seniors.
Yeah.
And that's not counting sophomores or juniors that attended as well. So
Okay, awesome. And what I love about this so much is that I've been hearing stories about, people will go to prom for a half an hour or an hour and then leave and go to these parties. So, and you don't ever know what happens, right? At those kind of parties.
yeah.
It's scary to think about, right? Like putting yourself in that situation. So the fact that y'all offered something different and that it was so well attended, if not even better attended than the actual prom event, is pretty cool. And I think that as people look forward to different programming for high school, that if the students aren't really into the dance, and they're going to leave early anyway, then it's a really smart move to say, well, then, yeah, what are you into? Are you into sports and competitions and games? Then, yeah, let's do something like this, like a lock-in and Project Prom like y'all did. So I think it was really, really cool. Do you feel like it made an impact on people?
I think so. I know I went to prom last year and the year before. And although the year before, my sophomore year, the school wasn't allowed to have anything to do with prom or Project Prom. But the parents that put on a prom for the seniors that year still tried to make it, fun. But my junior year, it was a lot of fun. And I knew that even if I didn't want to go to the dance, I would definitely go back to Project Prom. Just because it gives kids the opportunity to win money and be competitive and, stay up all night and just kind of eat junk food too. So
thank you both so much for talking with me about prom and Project Prom. And I hope the people listening to this get some ideas for how they can duplicate this in their community. So for everyone listening, thank you for listening to another episode of Party Talk, where we empower leaders in youth drug prevention. And we'll see you next Monday for another episode.